As people, we dream. As leaders, we progress. As nations, we will build. Beginning today, let's accelerate our new global alliance, this bond, to positively impact the progress of our children. Welcome, members, to the inaugural meeting of Fostering the Future Together. Our coalition's mission is to empower children by providing greater access to technology and education. Our key driver, to cultivate the skills young people need to be successful in this rapidly evolving world. Fostering the Future Together will achieve this by creating innovative learning programs, advocating for supportive education policies. Our shared vision prioritizes children above political philosophy, geographical borders, and local prejudices. To turn this vision into action, I invite each of you to participate, commit to hosting a regional meeting, conduct a research study, advance new partnerships, collaborate with another member nation in your region of the world. Magic happens in our nation's capital, particularly when the private and public sectors join forces. Today's meeting is unprecedented. I commend America's leading companies for convening with us today. Never before have so many tech visionaries stood before such a large global audience of leaders in the State Department and the White House over the two-day period. Nowhere else could such a concentration of excellence be assembled, from AI pioneers like OpenAI, Palantir, and xAI, to tech platforms like Google and Meta, creative engines like Adobe and Microsoft, human connectivity through Zoom communications. This room is filled with extraordinary human capital. Leaders, harness it to elevate your children, to empower your people, and to accelerate your economies. Our coalition for leaders will improve our future, but only by supporting concrete initiatives that equip young people with the skills and knowledge they need. Together, let's invest.
Thank you. Respected First Lady Melania Trump, esteemed First Ladies and Gentlemen, Excellencies, distinguished guests, it is a great honor for me to be here today and to participate in a discussion that shapes the future of our children. Artificial intelligence in education. I thank the First Lady Melania Trump for the invitation and for her initiative to bring us together to discuss this important topic. Today, we live in a time of rapid technological changes. Artificial intelligence is already changing the way we learn and communicate. Children who sit in classrooms today are growing up in a digital world. Because of this, education systems must find ways to use technology responsibly and for the benefit of students. Artificial intelligence can be a powerful tool in education. It can help teachers better understand the needs of students and help children learn at their own pace. But technology itself is not a solution. Teachers remain essential for the development of curiosity, values, and responsibility in children. It is therefore important that we use artificial intelligence as a tool of support to teachers and not as a replacement for them. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, we also recognize the importance of the digital transformation of education. Our universities and researchers are increasingly working on the development and application of artificial intelligence, and in our education system we are strengthening students' competencies. Children learn how to use technology, but also how to think critically and responsibly. At the same time, we are aware of the challenges. Questions of ethics, security, and the protection of children is the digital space must be at the center of our policies. As a mother, I believe that education is the most important investment in the future. Our responsibility is to give children the knowledge and values to use technology in a way that connects people and builds a better society.
L'éducation, l'intelligence artificielle et la littératie numérique.
We're living in the complexity of our world that is evolving. It's important to recognize the transforming power of digital tools. In addition, including artificial intelligence in education can be of great benefit. It can customize learning by adapting to the individual needs of students. It can also help teachers follow progress of students and integrate teaching methods based on scientific research. However, with the advances of our responsibilities, while we promote digital literacy, we must also prioritize security and protection. It's important for our students not only learn how to use technology, but also understand the importance of navigating digital spaces in a responsible and safe way. By investing in digital tools and including artificial intelligence and encouraging curiosities and promoting security, we can cultivate future generations of learners, not only to acquire knowledge, but also to innovate, research, and create solutions.
Distinguished First Ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, I would like to extend my deep respect and support to Madame Trump for, by following her instinct, we women certainly do have it, giving the form and the contents to her vision and for gathering us here. We are writing history today. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in two worlds, digital and real one, offline and online, and we can neither ignore nor ban them. The Republic of Serbia is guided by the fact that well-being in digital environment, just like in the real life, is a path for personal development which requires education, not only limitations. Therefore, instead of short-time prohibitory measures, we promote the digital immunity. Our objective is not to isolate children, but to make them stronger in order to recognize the danger. Serbia has introduced computer programming to all elementary schools and a subject called the digital world, starting from the first grade. The fundamentals of understanding artificial intelligence have become part of the curriculum in elementary and secondary schools. According to UNESCO data, we are one of only 11 countries in the world that successfully implemented this. What we are especially proud of is that the digital transformation in education has been accompanied by improvements in the system for child protection. The National Contact Center for Children's Safety on the Internet, Smart and Safe, has been established as a system of direct support for children, parents and teachers. This is the first and so far the only institutional mechanism in the region that addresses the prevention and response to threats against children in the digital environment. Ladies and gentlemen, Serbia is today the chair of the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence and proudly becoming the member of the Fostering the Future Together Global Coalition. To conclude, technology is neither good nor bad. Technology, in my opinion, is our test of humanity. This coalition gives us strength and the framework to successfully pass this test. Serbia stands with you, with this coalition, to the benefit of all our children.
Because we are now on the brink of the most profound change we have ever seen. Artificial intelligence brings into education both amazing opportunities and significant challenges. I am thankful to the First Lady of the United States to show the leadership in bringing the first spouses of the world together with the intent to wield whatever soft power we have for ensuring a better future for our children. Sharing best practices and educational tools based on artificial intelligence and fostering their availability to all children is a worthy cause. I believe it is equally important and a truly visionary proposal to establish a think tank, which I see as a long-term forum for discussing, examining, and resolving ethical dilemmas and risks of the impact of artificial intelligence on children, and which I would be ready to join. In fact, introduction of AI, not only in education, but in all spheres of human activity, is a challenge for humanity as a whole. Autonomous AI systems may radically change our societies, we are being warned. How can we ensure that human ethics is built into AI? Will it reach a point of singularity? Humanity has solved these dilemmas more or less successfully many times in the past, in science fiction books and movies. Now we have to do it for real. We only have one shot. We better get it right.
I'm honored to join the Fostering the Future Together coalition, and of course I want to thank the First Lady Melania Trump for this important initiative. Today the world is becoming increasingly unstable, and in these conditions every country is searching for the answer on a question how to preserve resilience while continuing to develop. Ukraine already has this answer. It would be no exaggeration to say that besides the resilience of our people, it is precisely digital systems that help Ukraine remain functioning state even during a war. In 2019, we've been developing a state in smartphone model, a model in which key public services become accessible anywhere through a simple digital interface. This is realized through DIA, not just an app, but fast, clear state-people interaction. Because technology is not only about convenience, it is about the state's ability to function. And while digitalization ensures nations' resilience, education determines its future. For us, this is the matter of principle. No child and no adult should lose access to education, regardless of the circumstances. That is why we are building a comprehensive digital education ecosystem. An important part of it is DIA Education. This is a national edutainment platform that combines learning and practice with a focus on skills needed in a modern world. The platform offers hundreds of educational products, video courses, real-life job stimulators, interactive modules, and certification programs. On the D-Education platform, a dedicated section is about online safety and cyber hygiene. The content is adapted to different ages and different levels of proficiency. We view cyber hygiene as a new basic skill. Just as humanity once learned to take care of physical hygiene, it is not a one-time action, but daily practice that builds resilience and helps prevent most common threats. At the same time, we are developing solutions for school education. The initiative of the President of Ukraine, MRIA, was launched, a unified digital education ecosystem for students, parents, and educators. MRIA brings together all key elements of the learning process, from educational materials and schedules to communication and assessment. For students, it offers the opportunity to learn in a convenient format, track their own progress. For parents, it provides visibility into their child's learning progress and enables them to stay engaged in the process. For teachers, it allows for better planning and reducing administrative workload, but most importantly, it represents a shift in approach. Education is no longer one size fits all. It gradually becoming flexible and capable of adapting the needs of each child. Nearly 3,000 schools from all regions of Ukraine are already connected to MRIA, every fourth educational institution in the country. This year, we plan to connect around 7,000 educational institutions and increase the number of users to 1.5 million. In 2026, the pilot of MRIA preschool will begin in 6 regions of Ukraine. So we adapted that platform to the needs of the youngest users and make the system truly continuous from the kindergarten to school. And we are already looking forward. In 2025, Ukraine launched a National Center for Artificial Intelligence Development, Win-Win AI Center of Excellence, which is working on integrating AI into key sectors of the state, including education. Ukraine commits to further investment in digital infrastructure, education technologies, and AI-enabled learning to prepare the next generation to thrive in a digital age. That is why we are joining Mrs. Trump's initiative. We see this initiative as an important step toward elevating the issue of child development and education to the global level and bringing countries together around a shared responsibility. Ukraine is your reliable partner in it.
Thank you. I am grateful that Estonia's experience can be shared in this coalition. Launched under the leadership of the First Lady of the United States. This format is important because it creates space to talk about children's well-being while balancing innovation with responsibility. Education shapes a person's life and well-being more than anything else. It influences future opportunities, health, and a sense of belongings. That is why quality education matters so deeply to every society. Today, education is increasingly digital. My country, Estonia, went a major societal digital transformation in the mid-1990s, known as a Tiger Leap. This created a strong foundation for the leap we are now making, the AI leap. From Estonians' perspective, AI in education is an issue we must address now. Artificial intelligence is already part of our children's everyday reality, so we have to choose to guide these developments rather than simply react to them. That is the purpose of Estonians' AI Leap in education. It is a national program that helps schools use AI to improve learning, support teachers, and keep students safe. It combines an educationally adapted learning tool with teacher training, and it is backed by research. So, decisions are grounded in evidence. Teacher support is essential. With teachers' guidance, students can become responsible AI users who learn with these tools, rather than relying on them for quick answers. We also take risks seriously. Harmful content, deepfakes, data protection, and the impact on mental well-being. That is why we focus on safety by design, clear rules, and careful evaluation. So we learn what truly benefits children and what does not. This brings me to a wider point. The choices we make in education and technology connect naturally to children's rights and to emerging frameworks for AI governance. We want to build a bridge between classroom practice and these global principles, and we will use every international forum available to strengthen the protection of children in the digital world.
Excellencies and fellow first spouses, thank you for bringing us together, and thank you also for coming together. This coalition matters. It matters because the digital world is no longer a separate place where our children go. As the First Lady of Estonia mentioned, it is the environment in which our children live, environment that shapes their minds every day and in real time. Artificial intelligence is already in their phones, it is in their homework, it is in the very question they ask about the world. As we gather here today for the initiative Fostering Future Together, the question before us is simple yet profound. Will we guide them, or will we leave them to navigate this frontier alone? In Costa Rica, we chose to act early. In 2024, we launched our National Artificial Intelligence Strategy, and this is the first of its kind in Central America. From the very beginning, we made one decision clear: children come first. And this is not a technical issue for us. It is a public responsibility. We are building our artificial intelligence with ethics, with safeguards, and with a human-centered purpose. And we are already seeing the results. Today, over half of our teachers using artificial intelligence to support students with special needs or spark innovation, and this is a rate well above the OECD average. To ensure that our teachers are never left behind, we also created one of the world's first National Artificial Intelligence Guide for educators. This guide ensures that technology serves as a partner that automates routine tasks, giving our teachers back time they need for what matters. And this is socio-emotional support of our students. We are also providing that innovation has no borders. In Costa Rica, internet access is a constitutional right, and we have reduced the digital divide in vulnerable communities by 22 percentage points. Through our Hummingbird project, we are bringing artificial intelligence-driven literacy to our most remote one-teacher schools in the mountains and coasts, ensuring that a child's zip code never defines their digital destiny. But let us to be clear, access without safety is not progress, it is exposure. Innovation must never come at the cost of child's dignity and security. Excellencies, this coalition gives us a rare opportunity to move from isolated efforts to shared global principles. And we must shape it together with intention and with the belief that every child, everywhere, deserves a future where technology expands their potential without ever diminishing.
Melania Trump. The history will remember her, who brought around 45 nations together and turned a mother instinct into a global movement. Our responsibility is to ensure both. This is why thoughtful solution matters so deeply. Solution that allows our children not only to thrive and to innovate, but also remain open, curious, and connected, free to play and engage and step into the future with confidence. In Georgia, we're undertaking important steps towards comprehensive digital transformation. Our nation approach is guided by the principle of the middle way, framework that seeks to balance technological innovation with the protection of human dignity, fundamental rights, and above all, children's safety.
Artificial intelligence is a technological leap on par with the invention of the printing press and the rise of the internet. It is no longer just a transformative technology, but a foundational one that is already shaping the world around us. In education especially, it can serve as a powerful equalizer, opening doors of opportunity for students and expanding access to quality. As a result, their students are mastering material at a pace over 2 times faster than national benchmarks. Seeing models like this of success around the country demonstrates why the responsible integration of AI in our classrooms has been a top priority of mine as the Secretary of Education. We have already dedicated millions of dollars under the First Lady's leadership. Today's discussions will help us envision a set of best practices for AI in education worldwide. Together, we can show how proper use of ed tech tools, digital assessment programs, immersive simulations, and adaptive learning systems can be an enhancement to classroom instruction while simultaneously equipping students with the digital literacy they will need throughout their lives. And if we're able to scale these resources effectively by investing in AI infrastructure and training, we can offer expert instruction across countless fields to higher volumes of people at a fraction of the cost.
The launch of Fostering Future Together Global Coalition is both timely and necessary. The rapid advances in digitalizations and AI are transforming the way we learn, work, and live. Investing in children's education, as highlighted by Mrs. Melania Trump, is essential to build lasting peace. For Albania, ensuring that every child is equipped with digital skills is a national.
At an important moment for my country, under the leadership of my husband, Tariq Rahman, the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, our recently elected democratic government has taken office with an overwhelming mandate to build a more inclusive and forward-looking nation. Our government has already launched initiatives such as the Family Card and Farmers Card, providing financial benefits that strengthen households and also ensure children grow in secure, nurturing environments. As a medical doctor, I'm deeply committed to ensuring accessible, quality health care for every child, focusing not only on treatment, but on prevention from the earliest stages of life. My work with the Ziaur Rahman Foundation and Shurobhi has further strengthened my dedication to advancing education, youth development, and community well-being. We believe that responsible use of artificial intelligence can transform education, especially in countries like Bangladesh, where access to trained teachers and resources remain uneven. Our government is equipping both teachers and students with the tools they need to thrive in a digital age. Our government is providing teachers with tablet computers, updating teaching materials, digital curricula, and innovative methods. Classrooms are evolving to include multimedia contents, encouraging teamwork, creativity, and moral development. Technology, particularly EdTech, plays a central role in reducing disparities between urban and rural communities. At the same time, we are committed to ensuring the safe and ethical use of these tools so that children grow in secure and supportive environments. We also recognize the importance of partnerships. By working with the private sector and our global partners, we aim to expand safe digital spaces, train teachers, empower parents, and improve the quality of education for all. With strong technological cooperation, we seek to connect every region, protect every child, and personalize every learning journey. Together, we can raise a generation that is resilient, compassionate, and prepared for the future.
It is in this context that we see artificial intelligence as a great way to at least three things: inclusion. And when I talk about inclusion, I remember Stephen Hawking. I know everybody knows who was Stephen Hawking. And I remember kids with special needs. Imagine all the kids with special needs with the access he had. All of them could give to the world, not only to a country, but to the world, the best potential they have. And about equity, I'm thinking about the presence of girls and women in IT world. We are underrepresented in this world. So we must prepare equipping our young people to thrive in a global world where their talents can flourish. However, excellencies, there are at least two fundamental pillars that must guide and safeguard this gateway: family and school. School do more than teach. They educate, they influence, and shape character. Teachers are role models and must guide the use of technology. Kind, encouraging its use, they must teach how to use it critically and responsibly. Families do face challenges. Often, children are more technological skilled than their parents. Parents must therefore be supported, empowered, and engaged to ensure consistent guidance and oversight. Past, danger was in the street. At my time, when I was a kid, the danger was at the street. But today, it may be inside the home, just one click away. An integrated approach is essential. Includes digital education, stronger online protection, and greater accountability of technology platforms, because every child matters and no country can face the challenges of the digital age alone. We are committed to working with all of you to ensure that our children become not only digital creators, but also peacemakers, in bridge of dialogue, building bridge of understanding, and bridge of empathy across the world.
Name the very valuable work and initiative of First Lady Melania Trump to convene this First Ladies to participate in this global coalition building the future together with a aim of promoting all of our children through education. Today we are facing a combined challenge. In the Dominican Republic, we have taken on this challenge as an opportunity to transform our educational system. In recent years, we have moved from a system based on memory and memorization to one that is based on skills, that focuses on know-how. We are seeking to create students who are capable of critical thinking, to resolve issues and problems, that is to say, problem-solving oriented, in a world that is changing every day. Technology plays a key role in this process. Today, it is an ongoing aspect, and it is part of everything that we are doing, is cross-cutting in this regard, and we are training our teachers. We need to train our teachers, ensuring that technology is a teaching tool that is, in its essence, effective. As part of our efforts, we have created programs that are focused on understanding ITCs and the 21st century. One example is our educational robotics program, in which over 800,000 students have participated, strengthening capabilities in STEM, specifically through different competencies. Today, we understand that English is the language of technology, and as such, we've created the program English for a Better Life, which currently serves 82,000 secondary school students. Similarly, we are encouraging programs of inclusion and innovation that expand access to quality education through the use of technology. Lastly, let me highlight the responsible and safe use of digital tools backed by policies in data protection and cybersecurity. Dominican Republic reaffirms its commitment to not fall behind, and specifically to not leave behind future generation. Through our 2030 digital agenda, we are working to create future citizens that are capable, responsible, and that they understand what the responsible use of technology and AI means.
When it comes to artificial intelligence in education, we are also working on including it responsibly to promote personalized education and decision-making that is based on data and guided by UNESCO principles that ensure an ethical, person-centered focus and centered on people's rights. Next, we have online security. We believe faithfully, and we act on this belief, that innovation must occur in safe spaces for our children, our young people, our adolescents. In a country where half of our population is under 22 years of age, this is obviously critical. Guatemala, then, is implementing actions at the national level that are coordinated to prevent digital risks. These include strategies led by our Office Against Sexual Violence, Exploitation, and Human Trafficking. We also recognize that this challenge evolves quickly. There are new threats, such as damaging content generated by AI itself, by other encrypted platforms, and transnational exploitation networks. Therefore, we need more coordination at the institutional level. We need to be better able to investigate digital crimes, and we need a more integrated response at the national level. We are committed to that, and that is what we are currently doing. So we strengthen existing platforms, manage prevention and response to these threats. There are digital complaint mechanisms, prevention campaigns, and coordination mechanisms at the interinstitutional level that bring together education, security, and child protection. In closing, I would like to say that for Guatemala, this new digital transformation wave is a means. I'll repeat, it is a means to one of our largest ends, which is to reduce structural inequalities that for decades have held half of our population in levels of poverty and extreme poverty. So we have specific targeted actions so that inequalities do not increase, but rather are reduced during this new era, so that we may expand opportunities, strengthen our human capital, contribute as well to holistic development. We are therefore committed to this group of leaders who are here today and those who may not be here today as well, so that we may advance and move from fragmented approaches to preventive holistic strategies that are coordinated with all of you and all leaders from different sectors, because education, protection, and innovation must move forward together and ethically, focused on the protection of people. Finally, we would like to reiterate our desire to work with international partners to make sure that technology is a tool of equity, inclusion, sustainable development, especially that it may protect and empower all children.
We are all living in an era when artificial intelligence expands in all areas of our human life, and it's even catching up with its creator. Timely beginning of a discussion on what the development of AI means for our future is crucial. We must speak about both great opportunities ahead and the potential dangers. This makes it essential to listen to academic analysis, scientific forecasts, and experiences of different countries. It's very important that the First Lady of the United States of America, Melania Trump, proactively leads and has launched a significant global initiative. Lithuania supports the look at the development of AI through the lens of children as the most sensitive group in society. And I am delighted to greet all far-sighted supporters of this mission. insightful spouses of world leaders. We are here today from all over the world, united by a shared commitment to ensure that modern technologies serve for the well-being of our children, and we, the international community, will be united in seeking to introduce high ethical norms, universal standards, respective safeguards across the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to once again express gratitude to the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, for the strength of this substantial initiative. There is no doubt that the global coalition, timely initiated by the First Lady of the United States, will touch us all, the world, and help us protect our children and properly meet the challenges of the future. I can assure you, Lithuania will be an active and socially responsible participant.
When we speak about the future of our children, we are really speaking about the world we are preparing them to step into. One that is rapidly changing, shaped by technology, innovation, and new ways of learning. It is our shared responsibility as leaders, parents, and advocates to ensure that our children are not only protected and supported, but are also equipped to thrive in the world. This is an important and timely conversation, and I wish to thank First Lady Melania Trump for bringing us together to have it. I bring greetings from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, a small island nation in the Caribbean, but one with a steadfast belief that our size must never limit our ambition, especially when it comes to the development and protection of our children. In St. Kitts and Nevis, we understand that the future our children will inherit will be shaped by technology. For this reason, our government has made deliberate investments to ensure that our young people are not just consumers of technology, but creators, innovators, and responsible digital citizens. One of our most transformative initiatives in this regard has been the reintroduction of our one-to-one laptop program, which ensures that students across our education system have access to personal digital learning devices. The COVID-19 pandemic served as a global wake-up call. It revealed just how essential digital infrastructure and educational technology had become to the continuity of learning. In response, St. Kitts and Nevis accelerated investments in our digital education framework, strengthening connectivity, equipping classrooms with modern tools, and expanding access to technology for students and teachers alike. Today, thousands of students across our federation benefit from digital devices that support interactive learning, online collaboration, and access to educational resources far beyond the walls of the classroom. Alongside these national efforts, civil society also has an important role to play. Through my nonprofit foundation, the Joy Project, we work to support children and families across our federation by responding in practical ways to needs within our communities. As part of this work, we have sought to assist children who may not otherwise have access to tools needed to fully participate in today's learning environment, including through the donation of laptops to support their educational and technological growth. However, access alone is not enough. We have complemented these efforts with a range of initiatives designed to ensure that technology is used safely, responsibly, and effectively. Across our communities, internet connectivity has been expanded through community centers, providing young people with safe spaces to access online educational resources. At the same time, digital literacy programs are equipping students, parents, and teachers with the skills needed to navigate the digital landscape with confidence. Importantly, we are also placing strong emphasis on online safety and digital protection, ensuring that our children engage responsibly online, recognize risks, and protect themselves in digital spaces. Inspired by a growing interest in technology among our youth, a group of young innovators established the St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Association, which is now playing a meaningful role in advancing technological innovation within our federation. Today, that same association is leading the development of a major national initiative.
See what an incredibly powerful tool that is. I mean, we have never put in our children's hands this kind of power before, where they actually have access to all of human knowledge that you can get online. And frankly, that's for good and for ill. There are obviously amazing educational opportunities that come from being tied up to the digital world, but there are obviously some real challenges. So I am so delighted that we have the chance as leaders in our countries, but also as parents and friends, to talk about these issues, because artificial intelligence is coming. And we need to understand the implications for that. It's coming to all our countries, the big countries, the little countries. These things don't stop at national borders. I think it is important for us as parents, as national leaders, to teach our youth and make sure they are aware of the need to critically evaluate information, because they're getting such a torrent of information coming at them. They need to be able to do some critical analysis to be able to understand. Not everything you see on the internet is true. Particularly now with AI, it is very easy to manipulate a photo or a video. In fact, it's really the only thing I know how to do on AI is to take a photograph and say, please add a flag behind me in the photograph. Or I just had a very nice photograph taken where we're all in black tie, but there was a car behind us. I said, please put us in front of a palace. And all of a sudden I had a photograph, the same photograph, we're standing in front of a palace. I mean, you can do lots of fun things, but that photograph is actually fake. It never existed. So I just think it's important for our children to understand the possibility for manipulation. And obviously, they have to be protected, know how to protect their data, make sure that they don't communicate with people who could be dangerous, so that these tools really fulfill their great potential. I mean, I think our job is to teach our young people to think independently, and really use these products, not just consume these products unthinkingly. You know, I think the First Lady's point is that digital literacy should supplement and supplant actual literacy. You know, should supplement it, but ultimately you still need actual literacy. I mean, nothing is going to ever replace that. And critical thinking and creativity, those are the hallmarks that I think we need to make sure our children don't lose as they get sucked into the world of these phones. As our First Lady said recently in a national address from the White House, choose to let your imagination drive your intellectual progress. Never use AI as a quick solution. I think before turning the floor over to our distinguished guests, I want to say that the United States is committed to advancing digital literacy as a cornerstone of our diplomatic and development efforts, working with partners to share best practices and support teacher training. So we're very eager to hear what...
Right now, technology is transforming the world our children will inherit. But if we want to truly foster the future together, we must ensure that innovation does not deepen existing inequalities. Ultimately, the future we seek for our children must also be guided by inclusion, responsibility, and compassion. Therefore, when we invest in digital access, we must also invest in digital literacy. When we introduce innovation, we must also ensure safety and protection. And when we create opportunity, we must ensure that no child is left behind.
Today, we address an issue that will define our future, the well-being of our children in a rapidly evolving digital world. Technology is transforming how children learn and connect. For countries like the Gambia, this presents both opportunity and responsibilities. Opportunity to expand access to education and responsibility to ensure digital spaces are safe, inclusive, and empowering. In the Gambia, we view investment in children as central to national development. Education remains the cornerstone of economic growth, poverty reduction, and social stability. Our education reforms focus on equitable access, quality learning, strengthening teacher training, STEM education and integration of digital tools into classrooms. However, remain inclusive, limited infrastructure, qualified teacher shortage, and gap in digital literacy, among others. Innovations such as artificial intelligence offers potential to address these gaps through personalized and scalable learning, provided that they are responsibly designed to adapt to the local content and supported by sustained investment. At this time, child online safety must remain a global priority. Children face risks including cyberbullying, exploitation, and misinformation. The Gambia supports child-safe digital platforms, is committed to strengthening our child protection frameworks, and calls for collective global actions to safeguard children in a digital space. Ladies and gentlemen, despite our efforts, no country can achieve this transformation into the digital world alone. Strong global partnerships are essential to ensure technology are accessible, affordable, and responsive to local realities. Through leadership and innovation, we can build education systems that are inclusive, strong, and capable of preparing children everywhere for the opportunities of the digital age. As First Ladies and as mothers to our children across the world, the future is shaped by the choices we make today. The Gambia remains committed to advancing child well-being in the digital age, and I am confident that together we can ensure that every child can learn.
In Montenegro, we believe that digital transformation in education is not only about technology. It is about empowering children with the skills, creativity, and confidence they need to shape their future. To support this vision, Montenegro is focusing on three key priorities: strengthening digital infrastructure in schools, developing digital competencies for teachers, and creating a comprehensive and inclusive digital learning ecosystem. One of the most important initiatives within this transformation is the Digital School Platform. What started as a response to the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemics has today evolved into a national digital learning environment, providing thousands of online courses. At the same time, we are transforming schools through EdTech laboratories. These innovative learning spaces allow students to explore robotics, programming, and artificial intelligence. But we all know that technology alone cannot transform education. Teachers play the central role. That is why Montenegro has developed a national framework for digital competencies for teachers and launched training programs. Teachers gain skills and confidence needed to integrate digital tools into everyday learning. We also recognize that digital transformation must be inclusive. Our initiatives aim to ensure that every child, regardless of background, gender, or ability, has access to digital learning opportunities. In particular, we encourage girls to participate in STEM programs, and I am personally very proud of it, and to see themselves as future innovators and leaders. Finally, as we introduced advanced technologies into education, we prioritize digital safety and ethical use of technology. Dear friends, Montenegro looks forward to working together with all of you, our global partners, through this coalition. By sharing knowledge, building partnerships, and supporting innovation, we can ensure that technology truly serves the best interest of every child.
Coalition, which brings us together to work together so that our children grow up and develop holistically in a safe digital environment. In Paraguay, we're implementing a computer labs and robotics labs in hundreds of schools to develop computational thinking and technological skills. With our Connected Youth program, we will connect thousands of young people in AI, promoting inclusion and opportunities. We understand the importance of responsibly using technology. That is why we created a law to regulate the use of mobile devices in schools. We are also investing in training teachers to strengthen their role as guides in using information safely and ethically. We also know that technology in and of itself is not enough. In order to learn, a child needs to be well fed and cared for. We have a zero hunger program in schools that guarantees daily meals to more than 1 million children. This improves attendance, performance, and remaining in school. Along these lines, we have a program called Seeds of the Future. This is with families for the first 1,000 days of a children's life, promoting early education for all children. Health, the education, and working along with families is of utmost importance. We want to build the foundation for all human beings so that technology has fertile ground on which to grow. Paraguay is promoting a law for the holistic protection of the rights of children in the digital space. This is based on the principles of security from its design. This is complemented by a national observatory, a strategic intelligence center that assesses risks such as cyberbullying, and there is quick intervention facing digital threats to strengthen the safety of our children online. Fostering the future is key for international integration. Digital technology has no borders, and protecting children must be a shared global responsibility. In Paraguay, we reaffirm our commitment to working together so that technology translates into more opportunities, more education, and more protection for our children. Thank you.
Senegal is a young, dynamic nation where what is digital is already a motor for social transformation. However, we are convinced that technology must not be a privilege, but rather a right for each child, whether they grow in the streets of Dakar or in the most remote villages of our rural universe. Artificial intelligence and edtech tools must not just be gadgets, but they must be levers for equity. Our students must not be content just to learn what is digital. We're already developing concrete solutions for our country. Engagement within this coalition is thus based on profound belief that artificial intelligence and new technologies are levers for equality. They allow us to break down barriers such as distance and gives to each student in Senegal the same chances of success as any child in the world. AI for inclusion. Imagine learning systems that are adapted to the learning rate of each child, whether they be in an urban area or a remote village. Senegal has a new platform for ethics in education, a skills center for where each child should have the know-how to deal with these technologies. Digital literacy, we do not wish only for our children to use technology. We wish for them to understand it, create a generation of creators and not just of simple consumers. This is our priority. This is why we have integrated digital literacy for the youngest students so that each girl and each boy can learn, grow, and prosper.
It is an honor to be addressing you today at this global summit as the First Lady of the Republic of Seychelles. As parents and women empowered to advocate for those most vulnerable, we can indeed work together to build dreams for our children. In the transformative technology and innovation space, I am certain that what we are seeing today in innovation is just the beginning. Education ensures that every child can live with dignity, opportunity, and an equal voice in shaping the future. It is the foundation of a nation's success and its prosperity. Education is a key, and innovative technology, the new pathway. Seychelles, a small island state, has made meaningful progress in integrating digital technologies into education through initiatives such as smart classrooms, digital learning platforms for both teachers and pupils, robotics programs, and emerging AI-supported learning tools to encourage learning. Through such global coalition, we could also review what we have done so far and readjust to ensure we leave no child behind, including those in orphanages, exceptional schools, and on all our islands. Boys Connect is an annual initiative from my office, a 3-day digital camp over the school holidays to help address certain deficiencies and empower our young boys for more positive masculinity and emotional resilience. It is through positive exposures and adventures that we improve the chance of our next generation being more informed and thus better able to navigate challenges and build healthy relationships as adults. In this digital era, gender-based violence is being aided and escalated using technology.
Today, the world talks about artificial intelligence, innovation, and the future. But Bolivia, for many, the conversation starts much earlier. It starts with something more basic, more urgent, more human. It starts with a simple question: how do we access? Because for thousands of children, young people, and women, the challenge is not how to use the technologies of the future. It is whether they will ever be able to touch them at all. In our country, having a device or access to the internet is still, for many families, a luxury. There are homes where the digital world is not a part of daily life, not because they do not want it, but because they simply cannot afford it. And that is where this stops being a technological issue and becomes something much deeper. It becomes a question of dignity, fairness, of opportunity. Technology cannot become a new form of exclusion. It must become a bridge forward, a bridge toward equality, and that bridge begins with the most urgent step: access. Today we are supporting initiatives such as one laptop per child, together with partners like CEAL, Consejo Empresarial de América Latina, Educa Bolivia, and Aulas Conectadas, to place digital tools in the hands of children who might otherwise be left behind. But we also understand something essential. A device alone does not change a life. What changes a life is what comes after: learning, guidance, the confidence to believe I can. That is why we support programs like Crack the Code, where children, young people, and women are learning not only how to use technology, but how to understand it, create it, and grow through it. They learn coding, computational thinking, artificial intelligence, English, but more importantly, they learn something deeper, that they are capable. And when a person understands that, everything begins to change. Doors begin to open, opportunities expand, independence becomes possible. Our message is simple. In countries where so many still lack the most basic tools, closing the digital gap is not secondary, it is essential. Because every child deserves the chance to learn, every young person deserves the chance to grow, and every woman deserves the opportunity to move forward with dignity, tools, and hope. And when we make that possible, we are not just expanding access, we are building the future for our families, for our communities, and for our country.
I am incredibly grateful to the First Lady of the United States, Mrs. Melania Trump, for this invitation. And I am extremely pleased to be here among this assemblage of prestigious guests from across the world. And I am very grateful for the opportunity to hear from all of you about how you are addressing the prospects and challenges of AI in your unique countries, for your unique peoples and your unique institutions, but also bearing in mind that these prospects and challenges are ones we share in common as mankind. The AI age offers immense benefits for learning, connection, communication, opportunity, but it also presents real challenges for child safety. Our children face serious risks when it comes to predatory behavior online and exposure to harmful content. Data is the necessary input for the digital age, and for AI in particular. But our children and their data cannot become grist for the digital mill. The whole world has come to recognize that we must have different rules for our children online and for their data than we have for adults. After all, the purpose of innovation is not progress for progress's sake. The purpose of innovation must be to promote the flourishing of all of the peoples of our nations, and especially our children. We cannot trade off our children's safety and well-being for innovation. At the same time, Overly broad or poorly designed regulations risk stifling innovation, limiting access to beneficial information, infringing on free expression, and undermining parental authority by inserting government bureaucrats in the place of mothers and fathers. This is key. That is precisely the vision laid out by President Trump in his recently released AI framework, and has been the vision guiding our enforcement work at the Federal Trade Commission. Here in the United States, President Trump signed into law the Take It Down Act, which was championed by the First Lady to protect children from non-consensual intimate imagery online and deep fake abuse. I head one of the agencies charged with enforcing the Take It Down Act, and I can personally attest that the First Lady was the indispensable force behind this law's passage. Put simply, without her work, we would not have this landmark legislation, period. I urge every nation here to pursue balanced, pro-parent policies that confront harms without sacrificing the benefits of the digital age. Let us embrace innovation that enhances the well-being of all. Let us ensure that our children do not become a trade-off for technological progress. And let us ensure that our policies empower parents rather than replace them.
Thank you, Mrs. Trump, for bringing us together to discuss and commit to protecting children in our digital age. Allow me to share something personal. On the 6th of March, Ghana celebrated 69 years of independence. That day was also my birthday. I went online to read my messages. I must confess, I am an avid talker. I watched video after video because dancing celebration in our Independence Day and heartfelt birthday wishes of hope and love. Many came from young people who could not attend our national celebration, but technology gave them a voice. They stood confidently before their cameras with such grace, prayers, and encouragement from every corner of Ghana. Indeed, our world has changed dramatically, especially for our children. Nearly 7 out of every 10 persons use social media. In Ghana, 8 to 15 million persons online are mostly young. As my husband, President Mahama, said in our independence celebration, our children belong to a generation armed with tools earlier generations could hardly imagine. In their hands, a smartphone becomes a classroom, a business platform, creative studio, and a gateway to the global economy. However, this same technology that opens doors can also be harmful. Without proper guidance, our children are vulnerable. This is why Ghana has been investing in our children's digital future, not just with access, but with protection. It is sad that 1 in 5 young victims of cyberbullying skip school because of their experience online. No child should face such harm. In Ghana, we have strengthened our laws, forced protection, and launched the Safer Digital Ghana campaign to raise awareness and prevent abuse. We are securing the future of our children. It is moral duty. It is our generational responsibility. It is our shared global mission. Thank you for your attention.
I want to express my appreciation to you, First Lady Melania, for your leadership, for your vision, and for your decision to focus not only on the future generation of America, but also on the future of children around the world. This gathering is about taking a moral stand. It expresses our commitment to all children, understanding that technology brings great benefits to the next generation, but technology also brings great challenges. Alongside my role as the wife of Israel's Prime Minister, I have been working for more than 2 decades as the expert child psychologist for the city of Jerusalem. Through my work, I meet children and teenagers in the most critical moments of their lives, through anxiety and ongoing stress, and especially now during days of war. Day after day, I listen to their fears, their dilemmas, their silence, and also their dreams. I see their pain, but I also see their strength. Over the years, I have learned something simple yet essential. Every child needs someone who will notice them, believe in them, and give them the tools they need to open new doors. Today, some of those doors are digital. Technology can separate people, but it can also bring them together. It can endanger some, but save others. When used properly, it can reduce gaps, difficulties early, and give children new tools of language, knowledge, confidence, and creativity. As Winston Churchill once said, with great opportunity comes great responsibility. Children cannot navigate alone in the digital world. They need protection, guidance, and a responsible adult who will ensure that the online space is positive, ethical, and educational. As a mother, I feel this on a personal level. When I raised my sons, Yair and Avner, I learned that reality moves so fast, bringing new challenges to every generation. My children have suffered shaming and violence simply because they are the children of the Prime Minister. We must condemn personal attacks on children in any setting, whether in person or online. I see this gathering as a bond of responsibility between nations, women leaders, and between mothers who understand that the best way to build a stronger future is to invest in our children today.
Across the world today, a child is opening a screen, not just to learn, but to discover who they can become. In that moment, confidence is built or broken. Possibilities are expanded or limited. Whether we see it or not, that moment is shaping the future we are all responsible for. Today's engagement has shown us that the future is not coming. It is already here. The question before us is no longer whether technology will shape our children, but how we ensure it empowers them safely, equitably, and meaningfully, highlighting the scale of digital access shaping children's experiences. Kenyan children are discovering a love for coding and digital art through their gadgets. They are creating animations, designing apps, composing music, and sharing their work with the world. One remarkable example is Argo, Africa's first public environmental augmented reality game developed by Kenyan artist Joanna Olwoch with input from young people. It brings wildlife to life through interactive storytelling, showing how local innovation can inspire global audiences. Excellencies, the Kenya Education Management Information System is enhancing governance by enabling data-driven, evidence-based decision-making across the education sector. In the words of Franklin D. Roosevelt, with great power comes great responsibility. And today, we hold great power, the power to shape how technology touches the lives of our children. First, expanding access to digital learning so that every child, regardless of location, can access quality education. Second, integrating artificial intelligence responsibly to support teachers and personalized learning guided by ethics and human dignity. Third, guarding children online by strengthening digital literacy, safety frameworks, and protection systems. Fourth, empowering the ecosystem around the child, teachers, parents, and communities, because technology alone cannot raise a generation. Technology will shape the world our children inherit, but it is our leadership that will determine whether that world truly serves them. All of us spouses, let us rise to the moment. Let us ensure that every child in every nation does not just grow in a
The way in which children learn, communicate, and build their future changes faster than ever. Technology opens new opportunities for knowledge, creativity,
accountable and accessible manner. In our country, we believe digital literacy must begin early. Our goal is for young people not only to use technology, but to understand it, think critically about it, and use it to solve real-life problems. A key step in this direction is the 21st Century Schools program, implemented in partnership with international organizations and the private sector. Today, 141 primary schools and nearly 1,900 teachers in our country are part of this initiative, providing students with modern learning tools, including over 10,000 microbit programming devices. Through this program, children develop logical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills essential for the future. However, those skills must go hand in hand with digital safety. That is why we are establishing MK SafeNet, the first national safer internet center, as part of the European network of safer internet centers. This project brings together institutions, universities, civil society, and the private sector with one common goal: to create a safer online environment for children. Through educational program, 24/7 helpline, school workshops, and support for parents and teachers, MK SafeNet helps children learn how to recognize online risks, protect their personal data, and use technology responsibly. As a high school teacher, my vision is clear. Technology must be a tool that empowers young people, not a risk that endangers them. That is why cooperation is essential among governments, schools, parents, technology companies, and the international community to build a digital world where every child can learn safely and reach their full potential.